All right, guys, today's plan of focus for your food plots is sunflowers. Obviously, today I'm not in my food plot. I'm out here in my ugly pumpkin patch where I experiment with different things and try to grow some giant stuff here. But I wanted to use this guy for the video today to show an example of one good quality looking sunflower, and I can do the pros and cons on this. So let's get into the cons. One of the cons is the size or the space that sunflower takes up is a lot of space. I don't know if you can tell the leaf sizes on here. You know, they're huge. These leaves take up a lot of room. They make giant umbrellas. I mean, these are like the size of some elephant ear leaves on some of these anyway. So if you don't have a lot of space, this particular type of sunflower might be a con. If you have a smaller food plot, you obviously want to pick a different species of sunflower than this one. There are small, squatty sunflowers. You know, they might grow 4 to 6 feet tall, and that would be a much better situation for anybody in a smaller food plot. Now, another con that happens here is the fact that once sunflowers get some age on them, and I'm talking about once they get, you know, somewhere around waist tall or a little taller, deer tend to quit eating them. They will typically eat the top of it off, so there's not like a large browsing area unless they're really hungry. Then you've got some monstrosity leaves here when it's young to feed the deer with if they're that hungry. So browsing may vary from picking the top off to eating a bunch of leaves off. It just depends on the situation they're in. The type of sunflower, I've kind of hinted at that, can be a con. If you pick these giants, this is a Russian mammoth, you may end up having too much space eat up real quick with these. Now, you can make these into a wall like I do for my screening. This is the type of sunflower I will be introducing to the wall next year because they have such large stalks on them. They are the perfect plant to have something lay on it. So I think that will be a big help. So let's get into some pros here. There's not too many cons on these. I mean, it's just picking the right ones, because if you pick something really tall, obviously deer can't reach up that high, and deer will eat those sunflower seeds once they ripen up. Now, on the pro side here, there's a lot of things in here that actually work to your benefit. Sunflowers, when young, are an excellent source of zinc for deer. Zinc ties into fertility, sperm count for bucks. You know, there's a lot of things that can go into zinc. The same thing applies for humans. So if you want some more zinc to try to help your deer's reproductive abilities, sunflowers can assist in that if you plant enough of them. Usually sunflowers will, you know, attract the bees. It'll attract birds. I've seen hummingbirds out here. I mean, it has a great range of attraction. So what is another benefit? Well, the benefit that you don't see is what's happening under here. So if any idea based on the size of this guy, so if we can get some of these leaves out of the way. So you can see it's massive, great big stalk. There's also an extensive root system under here. And for anybody trying to improve their soil, I highly recommend planting a few of these. The deer don't have to eat them. It's what's going on under the ground. These are highly attractant to earthworms. Wherever these are planted, concentration of worms tend to go up almost as much as 40%. So if you're trying to get worms drawn into your food plot to help with soil restoration, this is a good plant to have in your weaponry. So it will draw worms in. you surround it with other species like buckwheat or sun hemp or even sorghums, this will help feed the surrounding plants because there's a lot of worms that will be after this sunflower root system. And they're not attacking the roots, they're basically assisting the roots, and the enzymes that produced out of the root ball, the worms love it. So that is an underground benefit that's going on. Now the above ground benefit, obviously, just by looking at this guy, right, massive tonnage. Now this only occurs when the plant's young, so you have a small window in which these deer will eat these. So your leaf sizes typically won't be that big unless if you get a smaller type sunflower. I mean, you're talking way smaller than that. So Russian has monster leaves and monster heads on them and monster stalks. Everything about these things is big. Now, the other benefit is the goal that I was attempting, and that was to have soybean wrap around in a vine. See all that space that sunflower can create if you have a vining soybean introduced with that sunflower. That is a massive benefit. Guys, I mean, this is real massive. You could triple or quadruple your production by allowing it to run around on that sunflower. That is a huge surface area that you're creating that would not be there if it had been, say, a sorghum, because those are like skinny sticks like this sun hemp right here. So there's your good benefit. Now, what's the benefit up here on the head? This sunflower produces tons of seed. These seeds are high in protein, and deer will eat these. Once the head ripens and hangs off, the seeds will slowly push open and fall out on their own. Most of the time birds will hammer them and kind of pick it clean, depending on how many of these you have. So the seed crop will vary. That is a con I should have mentioned. Your seed output will vary depending on your bird populations. And once the seeds fall and hit the ground, the deer will be under these eating the seeds out. Now I'm going to provide some links for the sunflowers on here, but there are many different versions of sunflowers. Some produce multiple tiny heads. Some produce one gigantic head. Others can grow really short. Others can grow extremely tall. This particular one here can probably max out around 12 feet, give or take a little bit. The one you're looking at right now is just a shade over 8 feet tall. And I don't think he's really going to get much taller than that because he's about to fall over and start his drooping down here. Now, other sunflowers that I've gotten, they can grow as high as 15 feet. And just so you know, it takes a lot of fertilizer to do that. So don't think that you've got horrible ground if you're trying to grow the giants. They require more money to be sunk into them than just planting a standard sunflower. That's another con. They're coming to me as I'm doing the video. So there you go, guys, the sunflowers. Highly recommend this in a summer blend, and that's why I'm putting it in my experimental areas. The ones that are in my food plot, if you watch my experimental video, that's this guy right here, same exact sunflower. This one is a volunteer that I took care of out here in my ugly looking patch. So there you go, guys. I will also attach links and videos to these and update the post as necessary. You have a great day.